Oh, what a lovely day on my beautiful island. I enjoy spending time here so much. And there is so much I want to do. You know it already, if you watched my previous videos. However, in real life, it's snowing outside. The Christmas spirit is everywhere around. But my tiny jungle island is, well, tropical, not so Christmassy, unfortunately. And I really want to feel those Christmas vibes. And I know exactly what to do. 1 year ago, I created this amazing Christmas retreat village. I enjoyed building it so much. It was a lot of fun. You can check out this video if you want to see all the details. I'm really happy with how it's turned out. However, I really don't want this place to be abandoned. Yes, it's located quite far from my base. But look at the area. The retreat is located on the hillside, overlooking huge snow valley. So I had a great idea. I can come back to this place every winter and add new buildings every single time. So today I will build an ice farm. Yes, I actually need ice farm for multiple reasons. First of all, I don't have enough ice. It's really handy to have ice to create sources of water. There were multiple times when I needed it and I didn't have. Also, I need bunch of ice, specifically blue ice, if I want to create very effective nether hub and connect it with ice boat paths. I have so many nether portals on top of the nether roof, and they're just randomly located everywhere. It's a mess that needs to be organized. And packed ice and blue ice are quite nice building blocks. Yes, they can be very easily collected from these icebergs from frozen ocean, but normal ice, not so easy. I had few options with which design to use for the ice farm. One of the most popular ones is probably the one designed by Nembon. It's a good farm and you can also AFK there. But I found that design is, well, it would take all the space here and I wanted something a little bit more compact. So I chose a design that I found in this Pixel Reefs video. So you basically have very long path of ice and you use flying machines to push it down where you manually collect it. Yes, this farm is more manual, and I don't mind that. It's still going to be so productive, you will see. By the way, I found this igloo. It was here all this time. Does it have basement? No. That's a little bit disappointing. I have never found igloo with basement in my world. But then again, I need to discover more. Anyway, let's start building. So one of the problems with these ice farms that I see, or any ice farm to be fair, is the ice mechanics. You have to have source water exposed to the sky if you really want this to work. Therefore, I cannot really make a building and hide my farm there. But I will make it aesthetic, don't worry. So I will start from building on this side of the valley, and it's gonna occupy most of this area, but only lengthwise, leaving plenty of space for some further different expansion. So I start from building 6 furnaces just like that. I use furnaces because in Java they cannot be pushed by pistons and flying machines. That's very important. So 6 will be widths of the farm. Then I will place 6 furnaces diagonally, just like that. So each section of a farm will consist of 6 by 6 area and one line separating them. And next section will start with diagonal lines. Once again, between the furnaces I will place these blocks that intend to be a floor of the farm. As you see, I'm building this farm on the ground level, but bear in mind, you need plenty of space underneath. You can have space up to 12 blocks. That's the piston push limit. I will dig space underneath afterwards, but I don't want to make it so high. You'll see it later. And the flying machine with pistons will push this warped word block. That's so hard to pronounce. Why? So this block to the level that I need. Also, I will need a line of furnaces just like that, where the dividers of each sections are. You can make this farm really long, but you have to bear in mind that the water will turn into ice only if the chunk tick is working. It's 128 blocks around the player. If you wish to produce much more ice, you can build some parallel farms. They would work nicely too, especially if you AFK somewhere in the middle. So I built the bottom line, and it's very hard to show you. It started snowing, so now it's covered with snow. So I kind of hope you can see where I'm going. This farm takes most of the length of this valley, but since it's located on the side, it will be very easy to decorate it. And don't make it too distracting. For the next step, I will need some ice. I could have used water, but it's a little bit easier to build with ice. Isn't it ironic? But that's exactly the point why I need the ice farm. Having ice is quite handy. And collecting ice is not so easy. Let me show you. When you collect naturally generated ice from, let's say, ocean, it creates this weird dip and water level becoming less. Then you need to dive into frozen cold water in order to collect the ice. But do it fast, because the water can actually freeze on top of you and encage you, so be careful. Pattern that we are going for right now is to put top slabs on top of the furnaces that were placed diagonally, and place ice on all of the other blocks. As you can see, breaking the ice will create a source of water, and we need this water source in order to waterlock every single top slab. This configuration will allow us to create source of water every single time when all the ice blocks are pushed down, so we can create more ice again. You will see how it works, don't worry. On the second thought, I wanted to modify Pixel Reef farm a little bit more, so I will add some waterlocked top slabs on two sides of the farm. This will help to create water sources more efficiently. So I will place top slabs just like that and create this pattern. And by the way, if you don't have that much ice, you can place it in this configuration. You need this ice basically to aid you to place top slabs. But to be completely honest, if you want to simplify your life, you can always use bottom slabs. They're gonna behave exactly the same way. I prefer top slabs because I can walk on top of them very easily. Also, before I waterlock side slabs, by the way, they can also be bottom slabs or even upside down stairs. I need to put some solid blocks on the sides, so the water doesn't spill out. I chose purple concrete and amethyst blocks. They look so good in combination with ice. I really love this color palette. Now, let's waterlock all the top slabs. On the sides, you can place water in every second block, and the block in between will become source as well. It will save you some time. But for the diagonals, you have to fill every single block. That's quite important. If you miss a block, it's not a huge deal. You will notice it later and you will easily fix it. The farm will not just break, so it should be fine. Hopefully. If I break all of these ice blocks, you can see how it all turned to source water. Now it's just a matter of time before it turns to ice again. And while we wait for that, we need to build the flying machine and also dig area underneath to make sure that the flying machine can push. As I said before, I could have dug 12 blocks. Well, actually, maybe 10 if you account for 2 top layers. However, for now, I will only dig 4 blocks. That's going to be more than enough for me, because it's easy to mine 3 tall tunnel. As for the flying machine, it's very simple. First, we need to build some slimes. We build 3 just like that on one side. 1 sticky piston looking this direction. And 3 more slime blocks connected to that sticky piston. Just like that. That's basically a width of flying machine. Now we need to place sticky piston on the other side symmetrically. So this is the base of flying machine. For the ice pushing, we need to place normal pistons just like that looking down. When machine will fly, they will be pushing down all the ice, but they will not push the blocks where we have furnaces. In order to trigger all of those pistons, we need some observers. The observers will need to look up. Therefore, I need these temporary blocks. Now I need to remove these temporary blocks, but I don't want this machine to fly. You have to be really careful here. Therefore, you need to place some furnaces. One over here, that one will be permanent. And one more furnace here, in front. This one is temporary furnace. I will remove it when the machine will be ready to go. Now I need to create a trigger system as well as return system. So this iron trapdoor will trigger the system to fly. Over here, I will place observer looking at the flying machine and create a redstone signal going around to the trapdoor. So I'll need some redstone over there, couple of repeaters on delay, and loop the signal on top. I need this lever for on and off switch, because I don't want my flying machine working all the time. I will only trigger it when I want. Now that the system is in off position, I can remove this temporary furnace. But I cannot start this flying machine, because I have to create a return system. So when this machine will fly, it will push the ice down, and the water will replace its place. However, when the machine will reach the end of the path, there will be way too much water, and it will take time before it will convert to ice again. That's why, instead of creating normal return system for flying machine, I made this one that adds plenty of delay to trigger the return for flying machine. This system is based on Ito hopper clock, and the time of delay is decided by number of items inside these hoppers. There are not many items right now there, because I want to demonstrate you how it works, but I believe it's quite safe to put the full hopper, since sometimes it really takes time before ice will turn into water into ice. Yep. So let's start the flying machine and see how it works. You can see how it flies and pushes the ice, and it's immediately replaced with water. I don't know how about you, but I find flying machines so satisfying. And now you see how all of this is pushed down over here. I will run this farm few times until this floor is wherever I want it to be. And if we go to the other side, we can see a small delay in the return system. So the flying machine is arriving there, and it will kind of park for a moment. Yep, and since there are very few items in that hopper, it started going back. But as you can see, not enough water has turned into ice. That's exactly why the delay must be much bigger. It seems I placed this trapdoor a bit wrong. It still works somehow, it's a bit funny. Let me fix it very fast. As you can see, I had this ravine over here. If I let this farm run too much, it will push down those blocks. It's okay, it's easily fixable. I don't really worry about that now. But while I wait for this farm to create even more ice over here, I want to decorate it. And the idea is actually very simple, but it will look so good. Just wait and you'll see. By the way, I'm building this farm day and night, and I'm not afraid of bad mobs, because I have mob switch. However, we need some light to protect our farm, and unfortunately, most light sources can melt the ice. So the best choice is to use soul lantern, because it's actually not too bright and it will not melt the ice. Soul lanterns go really well with this color palette, and luckily they are very good at spawn proofing the area. But I have to place plenty of them, because sometimes if I log out and log in again, my mob switch stops working and I need to start it again. But I cannot risk being blown up by a creeper. After all, it's hardcore, and although I have a totem of undying, it's better to be more safe than sorry. As for the decorating farm itself, I use this purple block palette, mostly concrete, amethyst, and purple glass and glass paints. Also later I will add some amethyst crystals, so this will create a sort of wall, and it will delineate this snowy plateau in a way that it will kind of make sense. It's like a safe wall to protect from anything that can attack you from the outside. And while I was building it, I ran the farm to progress it a little bit. I will not build the same wall from the other side. To be honest, it really doesn't have to be. I can kind of see it from here, and maybe it doesn't make that much sense, but when you are looking at it from the snow valley or from the Christmas retreat, it makes sense to make this wall only from one side. And you can imagine that this ice rink, it's almost like a moat around the castle, just frozen one. And when I'm here next time to build something over here, the ice farm will be working quite nice. Now I want to add some walls to the ice part. By the way, this block is very good for this purpose, and you should use either this type of block or something made of wool, because when you collect the ice, you need to use silk touch pickaxe, and if you have any blocks that are easily breakable by pickaxe, you can break them too accidentally. But if it's a block that needs different tool to collect, then you will not break it with pickaxe. At least not so easy. Now the ice farm is almost there. I just will run it one more time to make sure that my floor is, well, on the floor. And I will collect all of the ice and see how much can I get. So I have this 3x6 tunnel, completely filled with ice. Well, almost. I also need to fix this floor over here, since pistons didn't push under the furnaces. So after mining all of this, you know how much ice I got? 23 stacks plus 51. I think it's quite well. It seems a lot, but to be completely honest, it's not too much if you want to convert it into packed ice or even blue ice. Maybe if I need a lot of blue ice, I can also go and collect those icebergs. But if I need ice or packed ice, I think this farm is great. By the way, we need some spawn proofing inside the farm, inside this tunnel, and lichen is excellent for it. It gives a little bit of subtle light and it fits so well with this farm, and it doesn't melt ice. What else do you want to ask for? The last step that I want to do is to create a wall over here to make sure that there are no bodies that will wander inside my tunnel when I work there. Also, I put some fences over here to make sure it's protected from every side, and added a little bit of decoration in front. I think this farm is complete, and I believe it will serve me very, very well. Also, I decorated this entrance. There is a small path connecting the main entrance of my Christmas retreat, so I can walk to the ice farm easily. And here next to the entrance there is a small supply room, in case I need to restock some supplies. For example, I need lots of shulker boxes. By the way, another tip from me. I think you need to bring 1 or 2 allays with you here, so whenever you are breaking the ice, you don't have to worry about collecting every single piece. Allays will help you with that, so you can just mine and don't mind the drops. For now, I will just collect a little bit of ice, so I have some stock for the time when I need it. But first, I will introduce you to my new family member, Liru. This name was suggested to me by subscriber. The idea behind the name was so thoughtful and extremely relevant. Thank you a lot, said the Blue. I think it's a great idea to name bunch of my animals after the Ori characters. After all, that's why I built this spirit tree. By the way, I completed the catalog. I got all the cats in Minecraft, every single one of them. And this was the last cat that I needed for it. So this cat will need a name too. As for you, if you watched until this point, please put a like for this video and let me know in the comments what do you think about this farm. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I appreciate every single subscriber so much, and every single comment makes me happy, unless it's one of those spams. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you will have great Christmas season this year, or if you don't celebrate Christmas, just holidays, hopefully. So until the next time, bye!